Hello and welcome, dear students. Today we are going to discuss the key topic, that is human chromosomal abnormalities, aneuploidy, reciprocal translocation, sex chromosomal abnormalities and autosomal abnormalities, that is Mongolism. The main objectives of today's lecture are to have a detailed idea about human chromosomal abnormalities, to discuss the various causes of chromosomal abnormalities, to discuss different types of chromosomal anomalies, to understand sex chromosomal abnormalities and autosomal abnormalities, to have a detailed description of Down syndrome. Dear students, let us first of all discuss about chromosomal aberrations. A chromosome abnormality, disorder, aberration or mutation is a missing, an extra or an irregular portion of chromosomal DNA. It can be from an atypical number of chromosomes or a structural abnormality in one or more chromosomes. Chromosomal abnormalities, alterations and aberrations are at the root of many inherited diseases and traits. Chromosomal abnormalities often give rise to birth defects and congenital conditions that may develop during an individual's lifetime. Very often, chromosome abnormalities give rise to specific physical symptoms. However, the severity of these can vary from individual to individual. Any increases or decreases in chromosomal material interfere with the normal development and function. Normally, humans have 46 chromosomes arranged in 23 pairs. The pairs vary in size and shape and are numbered by convention. 22 of the pairs are autosomes and one pair, number 23, is the sex chromosomes. Any variation from this pattern causes abnormalities. Causes of chromosomal abnormalities. Chromosome abnormalities typically occur as a result of errors in one or more of the following: meiosis, mitosis, maternal age or environment. Let us discuss meiosis. Chromosome abnormalities usually happen as a result of an error in cell division. Meiosis is the name used to describe the cell division that the egg and the sperm undergo when they are developing. Normally, meiosis causes a halving of chromosome material so that each parent gives 23 chromosomes to a pregnancy. When fertilization occurs, the normal 46 total number of chromosomes results in the fetus. If meiosis does not occur properly, an egg or sperm could end up with too many chromosomes or not enough chromosomes. Upon fertilization, the baby could then receive an extra chromosome called a trisomy or have a missing chromosome called a monosomy. Mitosis. Mitosis is the name used to describe the cell division that all other cells besides the egg and sperm undergo when they are developing. Normally, mitosis causes duplication followed by a halving of chromosome material, so that each cell doubles the number of chromosomes to 92 and then splits in half, so that the normal total of 46 is resumed. Mitosis begins in the fetus after fertilization. This process repeats itself until the entire baby is formed. Mitosis continues throughout our lifetime to regenerate new skin cells, new blood cells and other types of cells that are damaged or that simply die off. During pregnancy, an error in mitosis can occur, just like the error previously described in meiosis. If the chromosomes do not split into equal halves, the new cells can have an extra chromosome, 47, or have a missing chromosome, 45. This is another way a baby can be born with a chromosome abnormality. Errors in mitosis are responsible for some cases of mosaicism. Maternal age. When a mother will be 35 years of age at delivery or older, she may be referred for genetic counseling or for prenatal diagnosis, such as an amniocentesis because of her age. There is a fundamental difference in the way that eggs and sperm are made. Women are born with all the eggs they will ever have, and they begin to mature during puberty. Over time, there are fewer and fewer eggs available in the ovaries. If a woman is 35 years old, the eggs in the ovaries are also 35 years old. The risk for a baby to be born with a chromosome abnormality increases with the age of the mother. Men, on the other hand, produce new sperm continually. Therefore, if a man is 35 years of age, his sperm are not 35 years of age. However, recent studies have shown that men over the age of 45 years may have an increased risk for new autosomal dominant conditions in their children. Environment. Many parents who have a child with a chromosome abnormality wonder whether the various environmental exposures they have had over the years contributed to having a baby with a chromosome abnormality. To date, there is not anything specific in the environment, such as X-rays, medications, foods, and microwave ovens that has been found to be the reason for a baby to be born with a chromosome abnormality. In fact, most parents who have a child with a chromosome abnormality, when compared to those parents who do not have a child with a chromosome abnormality, have no difference in their habits, lifestyles, or environmental exposures. There is some evidence accumulating that how a woman's body processes the B vitamin folic acid may have something to do with why chromosome abnormalities happen. Those women who do not process this vitamin completely may have a predisposition to having a child with a chromosome abnormality. This has not been proven, but knowing that this is a possibility gives women of reproductive age a good reason to take a multivitamin with folic acid before becoming pregnant and prenatal vitamins during a pregnancy to reduce this potential risk. Types of chromosomal anomalies. There are many types of chromosomal anomalies. They can be organized into two basic groups, numerical and structural anomalies. Structural abnormalities in chromosomes. Structural abnormalities occur when the chromosomal morphology is altered. These occur due to a loss of genetic material or a rearrangement in the location of the genetic material. These changes require breaks in the chromosomes. More than one break can occur in a single chromosome or set of chromosomes, and the broken parts may then reunite in new arrangements. The loss or addition of a chromosome segment may also occur in the process. More than one type of aberration may occur at the same time. Structural abnormalities may take several forms, like deletions. A mutation resulting in a portion of the chromosome to be missing or deleted. A single break near the end of a chromosome would be expected to result in a terminal deficiency. If two breaks occur, a section may be deleted and an intercalary deletion created, which form the great majority of deletions detected thus far. Known disorders in humans include Wolff-Hishern syndrome, which is caused by partial deletion of the short arm of chromosome 4, and Jacobson syndrome, also called the terminal 11q deletion disorder. Cry-do-chat syndrome results from a missing portion of chromosome 5. Now, duplications. A portion of the chromosome is duplicated, resulting in extra genetic material. Some chromosome segments behave like dominants and some like recessives with respect to certain phenotypes. Others show intermediate inheritance and still others have cumulative effects. Duplications provide a means for determining effects of chromosome segments when 3, 4 or more similar sections are present in individual animals or plants. Studies have demonstrated that duplications need not occur in the immediate vicinity of the section duplicated to exert an influence. Chromosome fragments may become attached to entirely different chromosomes. Through the assortment of such chromosomes in gametes, duplications may be carried to succeeding generations. Known human disorders include Charcot-Marie Tooth disease type 1A, which may be caused by duplication of the gene encoding peripheral myelin protein 22 on chromosome 17. Now, inversions. Sometimes a chromosome breaks in two places and the segment between the breaks turns through 180 degrees and becomes resealed into the chromosome in reverse orientation. Some inversions presumably result from entanglements of the threads during the meiotic prophase and from the chromosome breaks that occur at that time. Inversions are of two types, paracentric and pericentric. Paracentric inversions do not include the centromere and both breaks occur in one arm of the chromosome. Pericentric inversions include the centromere and there is a break point in each arm. More than 1% of humans carry an inversion that can be detected during chromosome karyotyping. A chromosome bearing an inversion usually contains all the genes of a normal chromosome and therefore the individual is not adversely affected. However, if a cell with a chromosome inversion enters meiosis, the aberrant chromosome cannot pair properly with its normal homologue because of differences in order of their genes. In such cases, chromosome pairing is usually accompanied by a loop. If crossing over occurs within the loop, the gametes generated by meiosis either possess an additional copy of certain genes or are missing those genes. When a gamete containing an altered chromosome fuses with a normal gamete at fertilization, the resulting zygote has a chromosome imbalance and is often non-viable. The most common inversion seen in humans is on chromosome 9 at INV9P12Q13. This inversion is generally considered to have no harmful effects, but there is some suspicion it could lead to an increased risk for miscarriage or infertility for some affected individuals. An inversion does not involve a loss of genetic information, but simply rearranges the linear gene sequence. Then translocations. When all or a portion of a chromosome detaches and moves to a different part of the chromosome or to a different chromosome altogether, the aberration is called a translocation. Like inversions, a translocation that occurs in a somatic cell generally has little effect on the functions of that cell or its progeny. However, certain translocations increase the likelihood that the cell will become malignant. It has generally been assumed that translocation occur following random breakage of chromosomal DNA. Recent studies, however, suggest that such breaks in the DNA may occur at sites during the normal process of transcription, an activity that may make the DNA more susceptible for breakage. Prostate cancer, for example, is characterized by translocations affecting a number of genes that are transcribed in normal prostate cells in response to male hormones. Translocations have been shown to play an important role in evolution, generating large-scale changes that may be pivotal in the branching of separate evolutionary lines from a common ancestor. Such a genetic incident probably happened during our own recent evolution history. A comparison of the 23 pairs of chromosomes in human cells with the 24 pairs of chromosomes in the cells of chimpanzees, gorillas and orangutans reveal a striking similarity. Close examination of the two ape chromosomes that have no counterpart in humans reveals that together they are equivalent, band for band, to human chromosome number 2. At some point during the evolution of humans, an entire chromosome was apparently translocated to another, creating single fused chromosome and reducing the haploid number from 24 to 23. There are two main types of translocations. Number one is reciprocal translocations. Reciprocal translocations are usually an exchange of material between non-homologous chromosomes. Estimates of incidence range from about 1 in 500 to 1 in 625 human newborns. Such translocations are usually harmless and may be found through prenatal diagnosis. However, carriers of balanced reciprocal translocations have increased risks of creating gametes with unbalanced chromosome translocations, leading to miscarriages or children with abnormalities. It is important to distinguish between chromosomal translocations occurring in gametogenesis due to errors in meiosis and translocations that occur in cellular division of somatic cells due to errors in mitosis. The former results in a chromosomal abnormality featured in all cells of the offspring, as in translocation carriers. Somatic translocations, on the other hand, results in abnormalities featured only in the affected cell line, as in chronic myelogenous leukemia with the Philadelphia chromosome translocation. Second type is Robertsonian translocations. It is a type of translocation caused by the breaks at or near the centromeres of two acrocentric chromosomes. The reciprocal exchange of parts gives rise to one large metacentric chromosome and one extremely small chromosome that may be lost from the organism with little effects because it contains so few genes. The resulting karyotype in humans leaves only 45 chromosomes. Since two chromosomes have fused together, this has no direct effect on the phenotype, since the only genes on the short arms of acrocentrics are common to all of them and are present in variable copy number. Robertsonian translocations have been seen involving all combinations of acrocentric chromosomes. The most common translocation in humans involve chromosomes 13 and 14 and is seen in about 0.97 in 1000 newborns. Carriers of Robertsonian translocations are not associated with any phenotypic abnormalities, but there is a risk of unbalanced gametes that lead to miscarriages or abnormal offspring. Next abnormality is the rings. A portion of a chromosome breaks off and forms a circle or ring. This can happen with or without loss of genetic material. Ring chromosomes may form in cells following genetic damage by mutagens like radiation, but they may also arise spontaneously during development. In order for a chromosome to form a ring, both ends of the chromosome must usually be lost, enabling the arms to fuse together. However, ring formation can also occur with only one end being lost. In rare cases, the telomeres at the ends of a chromosome fuse without any disappearance of material. Disorders arising from the formation of a ring chromosome include ring chromosome 20 syndrome, where a ring formed by one copy of chromosome 20 is associated with epilepsy. Ring chromosome 14 and ring chromosome 13 syndromes are associated with intellectual disability and dysmorphic facial features. Ring chromosome 15 is associated with intellectual disability, dwarfism, and microcephaly. Ring formation of an X chromosome causes Turner syndrome. Symptoms seen in patients carrying ring chromosomes are more likely to be caused by the deletion of genes in the telomeric region of affected chromosomes, rather than by the formation of a ring structure itself. Complex rearrangements, including segmental microdeletions and microduplications, have been seen in numerous ring chromosomes, providing important clues regarding the mechanism of their formation. Next anomaly is the isochromosome. An isochromosome is an unbalanced structural abnormality in which the arms of the chromosome are mirror images of each other. The chromosome consists of two copies of either the long arm or the short arm, because isochromosome formation is equivalent to a simultaneous duplication and deletion of genetic material. Consequently, there is partial trisomy of the genes present in the isochromosome and partial monosomy of the genes in the lost arm. The most common isochromosome is the X sex chromosome. Acrocentric autosomal chromosomes 13, 14, 15, 21 and 22 are also common candidates for isochromosome formation. Chromosomes containing smaller arms are more likely to become isochromosomes because the loss of genetic material in those arms can be tolerated. Turner syndrome is a condition in females in which there is partial or complete loss of one X chromosome. This causes symptoms such as growth and sexual development problems. In 15% of Turner syndrome patients, the structural abnormality is isochromosome X, which is composed of two copies of the Q arm. Neoplasia is uncontrolled cell growth resulting in the creation of a tumor. In many different forms of neoplasia, isochromosome 17q is the most frequent neoplasia associated isochromosome and corresponds with poor patient survival. Now let's discuss about balanced and unbalanced structural abnormalities. Balanced structural abnormalities involve the rearrangement of genetic material but with no overall gain or loss. For example, inversions and translocations. Balanced structural abnormalities can have an immediate effect, but the major consequence is the production of eggs or sperm with incomplete or partial duplicated sets of chromosomes. Then unbalanced structural abnormalities. Unbalanced structural abnormalities involve genetic material being gained or lost. Even tiny unbalanced structural abnormalities can affect many genes and consequently have severe effects on the individual like Cry-Du-Chat syndrome, Digeorge syndrome, etc. Next are the numerical abnormalities in chromosomes. Meiosis is a complex process and meiotic mistakes in humans appear to be surprisingly common. Homologous chromosomes may fail to separate from each other during meiosis 1, or sister chromatids may fail to come apart during meiosis 2. When either of these situations occurs, gametes are formed that contain an abnormal number of chromosomes, either an extra chromosome or missing chromosome. If one of these gametes happens to fuse with normal gametes, a zygote with an abnormal number of chromosomes forms, and serious consequences arise. In most cases, the zygote develops into an abnormal embryo that dies at some stage between conception and birth. In a few cases, however, the zygote develops into an infant whose cells have an abnormal chromosome number, a condition known as aneuploidy. The consequences of aneuploidy depend on which chromosome or chromosomes are affected. Aneuploidies disturb the delicate balance of gene products in cells. Because each chromosome contains hundreds of genes, the addition or loss of even a single chromosome disrupts the existing equilibrium in cells, and in most cases is not compatible with life. The normal human chromosome complement is 46, 22 pairs of autosomes and 1 pair of sex chromosomes. An extra chromosome creates a condition referred to as trisomy. A person whose cell contains an extra chromosome 21, for example, has trisomy 21. A missing chromosome produces a monosomy. In humans, the most common aneuploidies are trisomies, which represent about 0.3% of all live births. Trisomies are characterized by the presence of one additional chromosome, bringing the total chromosome number to 47. With few exceptions, trisomies do not appear to be compatible with life. In fact, trisomies represent about 35% of spontaneous abortions. Viable trisomies are restricted to only a few human chromosomes. Down syndrome is a relatively common birth defect, affecting about 1 in every 750 births. Individuals with Down syndrome all demonstrate signs of cognitive impairment, along with a more variable range of other symptoms. But patients routinely live to adulthood. By contrast, trisomies of other autosomes appear to have more severe effects because they are rarely observed in live births. Indeed, the only other autosomal trisomies that are detected in any appreciable numbers among newborns involve chromosomes 13 and 18. But affected babies rarely survive beyond the first few months of life. Humans are much more able to tolerate extra sex chromosomes than extra autosomes. Thus, after Down syndrome, the most common human aneuploidy is the condition known as Klinefelter's syndrome. Klinefelter's males have a total chromosome number of 47, which includes 2 X chromosomes and 1 Y chromosome. According to convention, these males are designated as 47 XXY individuals. Other trisomy examples include Patau syndrome, which is a trisomy of chromosome 13, and Edwards syndrome, which is a trisomy of chromosome 18. Other configurations of the sex chromosomes have been observed in 47 XXX females and 47 XYY males. Compared to autosomal trisomies, these sorts of sex chromosome trisomies are fairly benign. Affected individuals generally show reduced sexual development and fertility, but they often have normal lifespans and many of their symptoms can be treated by hormone supplementation. Monosomies are the opposite of trisomies, in that affected individuals are missing one chromosome, reducing their total chromosome number to 45. Cells seem to be particularly sensitive to the loss of a chromosome because the only viable human monosomy involves the X chromosome. Females with a single copy of the X chromosome have the condition known as Turner syndrome. Interestingly, the frequency of Turner syndrome is significantly lower than that of sex chromosome trisomies, suggesting that a single X chromosome is insufficient for optimum cell function. The viable Turner's females display a wide range of symptoms which include infertility and impaired sexual development, and these individuals are usually mosaics. An abnormal chromosome number can result from non-disjunction at either of the two meiotic divisions, although these different non-disjunction events produce the same effect in terms of chromosome numbers in the zygote. They can be distinguished by genetic analysis. Primary non-disjunction transmits two homologous chromosomes to the zygote, whereas secondary non-disjunction transmits two sister chromatids to the zygote. Studies indicate that most of the mistakes occur during meiosis. For example, in one study of 433 cases of trisomy 21 that resulted from maternal non-disjunction, 373 were the result of errors that had occurred during meiosis 1 and 60 were the result of errors during meiosis 2. Now let's discuss sex chromosome abnormalities. The consequences of a chromosomal aberration depend on the genes that are affected and the type of cell in which it occurs. If the aberration occurs in a somatic cell, the consequences are generally minimal because only a few cells of the body are usually affected. On rare occasions, however, a somatic cell carrying an aberration may be transformed into a malignant cell, which can grow into a cancerous tumor. Chromosomal aberrations that occur during meiosis, particularly as a result of abnormal crossing over, can be transmitted to the next generation. When an aberrant chromosome is inherited through a gamete, all cells of the embryo will have the aberration, which generally proves lethal during development. The majority of known types of chromosomal abnormalities involve sex chromosomes. In frequency of occurrence, they are only slightly less common than autosomal abnormalities. However, they are usually much less severe in their effects. The high frequency of people with sex chromosome aberrations is partly due to the fact that they are rarely lethal conditions. Like Down syndrome and other autosomal problems, sex chromosome gross abnormalities can be diagnosed before birth by amniocentesis and chorionic villi sampling. Sex chromosome abnormalities are gender specific. Normal males inherit an X and a Y chromosome while females have two X's. A single Y chromosome is sufficient to produce maleness while its absence is necessary for femaleness. Female abnormalities are due to variations in the number of X chromosomes. Male abnormalities are the result of irregular number of either the X or the Y chromosome or both. Let's first of all discuss the female sex chromosome abnormalities. Turner syndrome occurs when females inherit only one X chromosome. Their genotype is X0. If they survive to birth, these girls have abnormal growth patterns. They are short in stature, averaging 4 foot 7 inches as adults, and often have distinctive webbed necks, small jaws, and high arched palates. They generally lack prominent female secondary sexual characteristics. They have exceptionally small, widely spaced breasts, broad shield-shaped chests, and turned-out elbows. Their ovaries do not develop normally and they do not ovulate. The few oocytes that they produce are destroyed by the time they are 2. They are in a sense post-menopausal from early childhood and are sterile. However, they can become pregnant and give birth if fertilized eggs from a donor are implanted. Women with Turner syndrome have a higher than average incidence of thyroid disease, vision and hearing problems, heart defects, diabetes, and other autoimmune disorders. In a few individuals, there is slight mental retardation. Turner syndrome is rare. Current estimates of its frequency range from 1 in 2000 to 1 in 5000 female infants. If diagnosed in early childhood, regular injections of human growth hormones can increase their stature by a few inches. Beginning around the normal age of puberty, estrogen replacement therapy can result in some breast development and menstruation. These treatments allow Turner syndrome women to appear relatively normal. XXX syndrome occurs in women who inherit 3 X chromosomes. Their genotype is XXX or more rarely as XXXX or XXXXX. As adults, these superfemales or metafemales, as they are sometimes known, generally are an inch or so taller than average with unusually long legs and slender torsos, but otherwise appear normal. They usually have normal development of sexual characteristics and are fertile, but tend to have some ovary abnormalities that can lead to premature ovarian failure. They may have slight learning difficulties, especially in speech and language skills, and are usually in the low range of normal intelligence. They frequently are very tall in childhood and tend to be emotionally immature for their size. This sometimes results in teachers and other adults labeling them as troublemakers because they expect more maturity from bigger girls. However, they are usually as emotionally mature as other girls of their age. None of these traits prevent them from being socially accepted as ordinary adult women. Individuals who are genetic mosaics have less noticeable symptoms. XXX syndrome is less rare than Turner syndrome, but little is known about it. The frequency is approximately 1 in 1000 female infants, and it occurs more commonly when the mother is older. Let's discuss male sex chromosome abnormalities. Klinefelter syndrome males inherit 1 or more extra X chromosome and their genotype is XXY or more rarely as XXXY or XYXXY mosaic. In severe cases, they have relatively high-pitched voices, asexual to feminine body contours, as well as breast enlargement and comparatively little facial and body hair. They are sterile or nearly so, and their testes and prostate gland are small. As a result, they produce relatively small amounts of testosterone. They usually have learning difficulties as children, especially with language and short-term memory. They are usually capable of normal sexual function, including erection and ejaculation, but many, if not most, are unable to produce sufficient amounts of sperm for conception. Klinefelter syndrome males with more than 2 X chromosomes usually have extreme symptoms and are often slightly retarded mentally. Men who are mosaic generally have the least problems. There is no evidence that Klinefelter syndrome boys and men are more inclined to be homosexual, but they are more likely to be less interested in sex. They have a higher than average risk of developing osteoporosis, diabetes, and other autoimmune disorders that are more common in women. This may be connected to low testosterone production. The frequency of Klinefelter syndrome has been reported to be between 1 in 500 and 1 in 1000 male births. This makes it one of the most common chromosomal abnormalities. XYY syndrome males inherit an extra Y chromosome and their genotype is XYY. As adults, these super males are usually tall and generally appear and act normal. However, they produce high levels of testosterone. They are usually fertile and lead ordinary lives as adults. The frequency of XYY syndrome is not certain due to statistical differences between different studies. It may be as common as 1 in 900 male births to as rare as 1 in 1500 or even 1 in 2000. XYY syndrome is also referred to as Jacob syndrome. Now we will discuss the autosomal abnormalities. The majority of human chromosomal abnormalities occur in the autosomes. Most of these abnormalities are monosomies or trisomies. All fetuses with autosomal monosomies spontaneously abort early in pregnancy. Likewise, almost all fetuses with autosomal trisomies die before birth. Those that survive usually have multiple physical malformations, mental retardation, and relatively short lives. The most well-known and most common autosomal abnormality is Down syndrome. This is a mild to severe form of mental retardation accompanied by distinctive physical traits. People with Down syndrome have an irregularity with autosome pair 21. In most cases, there is an extra chromosome. More rarely, there is a structural modification in this chromosome. Specifically, there is a translocation of all or part of chromosome 21 to chromosome 14 or 15. About 2 to 4% of the people with Down syndrome are genetically mosaic. That is, some of their cells have chromosome 21 trisomy while others do not, resulting in generally milder symptoms. People with Down syndrome typically have short, stocky bodies with thick hands and feet. Their hands also commonly have a simian crease, which is a crease in the palm that runs completely from one side of the hand to the other. In addition, they typically have broad, short heads with small, low-set ears, small concave saddle-shaped or flattened noses, relatively large, rigid tongues that roll over a protruding lower lip, loose joints, and low muscle tone that contributes to poor motor skills. Frequently, the eyes have an East Asian-like appearance due to an epicanthic fold. This is a fold of skin over the inner corner of each eyelid, which makes the eyes appear to slant upward. Because of this eye characteristic, Down syndrome was referred to as mongoloidism when it was first described in 1866 by the English physician John Langdon Down. However, this term was misleading because Down syndrome can occur in any human group, not just Asians. As a result, mongoloidism has been rejected as a synonym for Down syndrome. It wasn't until 1959 that it was discovered that Down syndrome individuals have an irregular number of chromosomes. People with Down syndrome frequently have other medical problems. These include epilepsy, hypothyroidism, crossed eyes, nearsightedness or farsightedness, cataracts, hearing impairment that makes it difficult to process auditory information, heart defects, intestinal malformations, hernia, and a marked susceptibility to respiratory infections such as pneumonia. Childhood leukemia is as much as 20 times more common than average for them. However, there is considerable variability within the Down syndrome population in regards to susceptibility to these medical problems. This is likely due to variable penetrance, that is, the alleles for the Down syndrome genes may cause an effect in the phenotype of some individuals but not others. It is likely that the abnormal traits characteristic of Down syndrome are at least in part a result of the overexpression of the involved genes. This overexpression is a consequence of the presence of an extra chromosome 21. One advantage of overexpression is the increased protein production coded by the DSCR1 gene. This results in significantly lower rates of colon, breast, and other solid tumor cancers among people with Down syndrome. Down syndrome individuals appear to age at an accelerated rate. By age 35, at least 25% of those who have non-mosaic Down syndrome have begun to develop Alzheimer's syndrome. This was not a problem a century ago because most people with Down syndrome died in childhood. The most prominent and debilitating trait of people with Down syndrome is mental retardation. They usually only reach a mental age level of a 3 to 7-year-old normal child. They are slow learners and their abstract reasoning is particularly limited. The majority of Down syndrome fetuses are not sufficiently viable to survive to birth. Approximately 85% of them spontaneously abort. The estimated incidence of Down syndrome is between 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 1,100 live births worldwide. Each year, approximately 3,000 to 5,000 children are born with this chromosome disorder. Women who are 20 years old apparently have the lowest chance of having a Down syndrome child. Women do not reach the average risk rate of 1 in 800 until they are about 30. Older mothers have a far high frequency. As a result, amniocentesis is regularly recommended for women of 35 and over. One study estimates that only about 5% of all Down syndrome children are the result of defective sperm. It has been suggested that defective sperm are less likely than ova to carry a Down syndrome related mutation, because the entire male meiosis process resulting in the production of a sperm cell takes only 74 hours. In contrast, the female meiosis process resulting in ova actually begins before birth and is completed usually one or a few cells at a time later in life before each ovulation. An oocyte can be stored in an ovary for 40 to 50 years or more before becoming an ovum. During that time, environmental contamination theoretically can render it defective. The very short life of sperm cells reduces the chance of such contamination. In addition, defective sperm are less likely to reach an ovum because they are more easily eliminated from competition in the process of traveling through a woman's reproductive tract. Some other important autosomal anomalies include Edwards syndrome, Patau syndrome, Dye-George syndrome, Cry-Du-Chat syndrome, trisomy 8, trisomy 9 mosaicism syndrome, Prader-Willi and Engelmann syndrome, and Wolff-Hessian syndrome. With this, we come to the end of today's program. Thank you for watching.